Hey, CD11, we're back from recess, and it was a busy first week back in council. As we talked about last week, Governor Newsom recently ordered the state to begin clearing encampments off of state-owned property, and he encouraged local cities to do the same, using best practices of notice, outreach, and offers of shelter or interim housing. Here in CD11, we've been doing this work since the day I took office, and we didn't need the Supreme Court or the governor to tell us to get it done. But I'm very glad the governor is now baking the urgency of this issue into state policy. And in CD11, we've now prepared a letter to the state identifying encampments within CD11 on state land and asking for their assistance in clearing these areas. We're going to be keeping a close eye on these efforts to ensure that people are not simply being pushed by the state into our local neighborhoods. I'll keep you posted as these efforts continue. In other important news related to homelessness, this week, the Transportation Committee approved my motion to prohibit RV encampments around schools, parks, and residential areas, while at the same time identifying locations where these vehicles can park with access to services. Our sidewalks were not intended for urban camping, and our city is not an RV park. So I'm really excited to see this motion head over to the Homelessness and Housing Committee before it comes to the full City Council for a vote. Like many of you, I was deeply troubled by the recent upstream sewer spill into the Ballona Creek, which led to yet another closure of our local beaches last week. It's the middle of summer, and people are coming from across the region to escape the heat and enjoy our coastline. So this week, I introduced a motion to get answers about the cause of the spill and the steps we need to take to prevent these incidents that keep happening. I'll let you know when my motion gets scheduled in our city's Energy and Environment Committee. Some of you may have heard recently about the proposed merger between Kroger and Albertsons, which would be the largest supermarket merger in history. If it goes through, dozens of our local grocery stores, including our beloved Little Vons in Westchester, are slated to be closed, and hundreds of workers will lose their jobs. I know how important our local grocery stores are in our neighborhoods, so on Friday, I introduced a resolution and held a press conference calling on our federal leaders to stop the proposed merger. I want to thank UFCW Local 770 for their partnership and their work to protect union wages and jobs, and I want to thank the neighbors who showed up to help save Little Vons. Well, that's a wrap, CD11. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll be back next week with more updates.